Hi, Ed.
Dr. Zara, good afternoon, good morning.
Yes, one of those.
One of
So
those.
we are on our third meeting where we're talking about our self-assessment tool, incorporating and addressing diversity. How's the process been so far for you?
So far, just been eye-opening and just putting me within functional context um, to receive more important feedback and to really maintain some of those values that I've already gained and even to expand further.
Absolutely. There were some things about both of us, both myself and your profile that were really cool to find out and discover about each other when we were looking at what was similar and different from last week. Um,
Yes,
yeah, it was really cool. I especially love learning about your first language being different than English, and then also how you identify racially. That was really neat. So
for
today,
sure.
today we'll spend about 30 minutes going into maybe even 45, going into more about biases and assumptions. And this will serve as a model for you even in handling clinical considerations when you're dealing with a futures trainee or even in clinical context. I always want to say this, so this is a disclaimer, always check federal, state, local laws or any kind of human resource policies relative to addressing diversity before we take any actions or make changes. And that's just a procedural safeguard because it's gatekeeping to ensure people are not overtly discriminatory based on off of biases that have led to assumptions. But meaning that discussing them is one thing, but taking action, like over action, you may need to check. So I always just like to put that out there. So
Yes,
we're going to look at our worksheet together, and this again helps us become more aware of our individual biases and assumptions. So ultimately, we have a high quality bidirectional relationship. And one of the things we can do is explore if there are any supportive actions we can make either for ourselves or with each other. And we may ultimately decide that we just want to privately self-monitor some of our biases or assumptions, or basically assumptions that, maybe they're internal or things we do overtly, and that we may not need the other person to provide any supportive action. So in the tool that we have been working on, we are currently on this part of the tab. Let's look at the race. So this is my bias that I put is by the way of how I look physically. I believe I'm more likely to have had certain educational opportunities or life experiences. And I kept my biases relative to the context of this because this is a professional and educational scope.
yes,
And assumptions I made relative to having the opportunity to work with you underneath this race strand was that it may have been harder for you to get to where you are than for me because of the way I look within the professional context. Tell me, let's now like have you participate in this and tell me what you perceive your biases may be based off your racial strand.
yes. For example, the right off the bat, when somebody look at me, my skin color, the way that I speak, they think, for example, or they assume that I'm Black African American, right? And and for me, given that I'm from Haiti, Haiti to me is an Indian land, and I identify as Haitian Tainos, and Tainos is like Indian. So, um, oftentimes that sometimes I just let it go, don't correct people, but at times I really feel it's like necessary to say, okay, listen, I'm really not, I'm not from Africa, I'm from Haiti, so I'm really Haitian, or Taino Haitians, so you want me to expand on this or will
Well, so do you feel like you have assumptions about, so that would be an assumption of what you think other people are thinking
other
about?
people?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm. So